super excited about today because I have a good friend with me here as a Fine Thing. Those of you who follow us know that the definition of Fine Things are things that enrich your life. So we're always looking for, great products, art, jewelry, business services, books that we think would enrich your life. And so our guest today certainly does do that. Her name is Renee Scarfone Gillies, so maybe there's some of you who recognize that name. She grew up here in Altoona, and she studied art at Penn State University. She had a concentration while she was there in metal arts and graphic design, but her true love was jewelry making. So she now resides in Nantucket and is the owner and designer at Skar Designs Jewelry, and she's here for the holidays, so we had to take this chance to go live. So come on in, Renee. I'm so glad you're here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So it's kind of funny, everyone, because we have known each other since freshman year in high school, Bishop Guilfoyle, right? If not earlier. Yeah, we probably did know each other through mutual friends even before that. And so we've been good friends for a long time. And when I said about laughing, I really meant it, because we're going to be cracking up this entire time. So hopefully you're here to have some fun with us for the next several minutes, maybe a half hour at the most. And we're just really excited that you get to share what you do and what you have a passion for.
I'm excited to be here.
So can you kind of start by telling us how you got started doing this?
Well, I, as you said, went to Penn State, and I was studying art, but it was mainly painting and drawing. You go through all the different arts. And once I got to main campus, I took a metals class. And I fell in love with working with metal.
That's so cool.
And so that's where it all started, and it kind of just snowballed from there. And I didn't always do it full time, but in my later years, I decided to stop doing restaurant work. And you're always a starving artist. But I decided to take it on full time in about 2003.
Wow. So that's been already, 15 years that you've been doing this.
Yeah.
And I know you're in Nantucket now, but where did you do this elsewhere? Did you really start there? How long have you been in Nantucket? I guess I don't really even know that.
17 years I've been there.
Wow.
But I used to do little shows here, and I used to make stuff for friends, special pieces. But and I did little craft shows here and there. So, but mainly it was once I got there that I started doing it full time.
Yeah, which is so awesome, because I just had a meeting earlier today where we were talking about artists and local artisans, and they're really trying to bring back and revitalize Altoona.
That's awesome. I've heard about that.
Yeah, Arts Altoona. It's incredible. And just being able, I think what you represent to the community is that you can make this a full-time career.
You can. And it's a lot of hard work, but you can't give up. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
But you can't give up. You have to keep going forward.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's delve in. So can you kind of share with all of us what your focus is for the line or for your business overall, whichever way you want to go with telling us about what you do?
Well, I always have so many ideas going through my head, so I'm always coming up with new lines.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the lines I do is a niche line that's kind of a regional line. It's my Nantucket jewelry that I do. I don't know if you can see the pieces on here, but it's pictures of the island on the jewelry and the zip code and the coordinates. And so that's my main line that I do, and I'm expanding on that every season.
Very cool.
And then the other line that I do is my signature line, and that's these pieces right here. It's usually organic shapes, circles, suns. I do a lot of celestial jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always expanding on that as well. So it's just a matter of having enough time to keep making the designs and keep coming up with new things and ideas.
Yeah.
So that's always my focus.
So your head's always going.
Yeah.
With creative ideas.
Definitely. And then obviously expanding on the business side of things as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
if you can't really see this, we're going to be sharing later with everybody, and we're going to zoom in and let you really get a chance to get close and personal with it, because it is kind of hard to see. I know that because we're live. So one question, I know we kind of prepped what I was going to talk about, but one question that kind of just came into my head. Have you had any interesting clients?
I have. Well, there's a lot of celebrities that come to Nantucket. It's a huge tourist area.
Yes.
If nobody knows, it's 30 miles off the coast of Massachusetts, and it was once the whaling capital of the world. So there's a lot of history in Nantucket. There's also a lot of culture. We have a film festival every year. We have a million festivals, yoga festival, you name it. We have a festival like every month. So that draws in a lot of celebs. So
Love
let's
that,
see.
celebs.
So I do a farmer's market every season, every summer season, and during the film festival, I look up and Seth Meyers is in my tent.
Gosh.
And then there's these two women there, and I'm like totally fixated on Seth Meyers.
Yeah.
Not realizing that the two women, the one was his wife.
Oh my gosh.
And then they both bought jewelry from me.
Oh, that's
so it was really
fantastic.
super cool. And then you just see so many celebrities, and who else? Oh, gosh, I can't think of the woman's name. There was another movie, and I gifted one of the actresses a pair of my earrings. So there's you're
cool.
always seeing interesting people in Nantucket.
Did you see her when you gifted them, like wearing
No,
them, or
I didn't.
because sometimes I know they do that, like they'll put pictures out.
No, I was hoping for that, but that didn't happen. But she actually called me, and I'm drawing a blank right now.
Sorry, that's okay.
But yeah, it was fun.
That's really neat. That's really neat. I always think I wouldn't even know who they were, so at least you knew who it was in your tent, because I'd be like, that would pass me right by. I wouldn't even know who they were.
It's true. Sometimes you miss them because they're kind of incognito.
Yeah.
And we try not to bother the celebrities that come.
Yeah.
And we try to leave them alone. We don't ask them for autographs or anything like that. But
Yeah.
it's fun to see them.
Yeah, and it's awesome that they bought your jewelry. I think that's
it was like
just really cool.
I blew up social media with all the little comments and pictures. Because then she wore it actually in New York City, and there were these photos of her wearing my jewelry.
Yeah, see, that's
So
great.
that was really cool.
Yeah, that's really great. So I want you to kind of share with us what would make this coming year, since we're going into a new year, like really successful for you. Like what would make it the best year?
I think, well, I don't know if I told you this, but we just moved. And we are moving into the historic district in Nantucket.
Oh, wow.
So it's a really rare opportunity. It's a really old house, and I have a set studio space in there. And I'm just really excited about being within all this history and all this inspiration. So I think that's going to be huge for this year. And it's just the change in general in my life and in my environment is going to be really exciting for this year.
Well, is it a studio where people will be able to come in?
Unfortunately not. It's a private studio. It's not open, but I do also wholesale in some of the boutiques in Nantucket, and I have the farmer's market, which I do every weekend in the summer. So that's, and I don't know, and I think I'm going to come up with some other creative ways to show my jewelry, maybe somewhere down there. I haven't really figured it out yet, but that's definitely on the table.
That would be cool. So if anybody is watching has a really cool idea for Renee about her jewelry line and how she could show it, get in touch with us.
Contact me.
That would be
anytime.
awesome. So you also shared with me that you try to use recycled metals.
I do.
Can you speak about that? Because I think everybody's into that now. That's like,
yeah, well,
want that.
The great thing about metal is it's easy to recycle. All you have to do is melt it down, and you can just use anything with it. But I try to do that as much as possible. The interesting thing about my jewelry is, you might not be able to tell from just looking at it, is I make the originals in clay. So these are all made in clay first, and then I make all the little impressions in them, and then I get them cast. And casting is a process where you are constantly recycling metal.
So cool.
And then I try to also use U.S. products, U.S. supplies for most of my jewelry, because I'm really, made in the USA. Mm-hmm. I like that about, everything. I don't really like to use too many products from overseas. Or locally sourced products too.
Yeah.
If I can.
Which is, I think, like I said earlier, very important to people these days.
Yeah.
And I also asked you if you ever did any men's jewelry.
I did, yeah. I have one Nantucket piece that's in the men's line, but I used to. But I haven't lately in the past couple seasons. But I'm sure I'll get back to it, because I like making men's jewelry.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It feels like to me like your style could certainly, go with the man's style as well.
I have a lot of male clients, so because they buy for their female friends or their family, their daughters. So it's fun.
Okay, so that's a great segue into how people can actually buy from you if they're not in the Nantucket area.
Well, I have a website. It's skardesigns.com. It's SKAR designs.com, and I have online ordering there. It's it's on Shopify, so it's really easy to order. And you get, if you sign up for the email list, you get 10% off your first online purchase. So that's a good bonus if you like any of the designs on there. Not everything's on the website, but I'm adding new things all the time.
Oh, and I love your mission statement.
Thank you.
I'm going to read it.
Okay.
So our mission at Skar is to create little pieces of magic for you to carry with you on your journey through life. We hope to evoke peace, love, and positivity through our original hand-stamped metals, colorful beads, and fibers. These beauties are all made by hand in our Nantucket Island studio. Love that.
I really feel like it's magic because when you make a piece of jewelry, you're making something out of nothing. It's like it suddenly appears. It's magic.
Yeah.
And I think people feel that when they wear it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wearing I'm wearing a piece from her line here that she's going to talk about in a minute, and I'm wearing rings. I'm all decked out in Skar design jewelry today, and I'm loving it. But I'm also wearing a star that she gave some of our friends got together last year. Was that last year?
Yeah.
And she gave us each a star. And I do feel like I feel like, when I wear it, it's that little, positivity, friendship. Mm-hmm. Makes me feel like a star. I love it.
That's what I'm all about. I love that about jewelry. It's very personal. It's something, when somebody chooses a piece from you to wear every day of their life, like that's huge.
Yeah.
And that's like what I really strive for in my line.
Yeah. So for those of us who don't really get this, or we're not, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, when you say a line, does that mean they all go together? What is it? They all have the same theme? Tell me what you mean by a line, because I don't think everybody understands like that concept.
Well, there's a line and there's a collection. The line is all the jewelry that I make.
Okay.
So the collection is the pieces that coordinate together. They all have the same motif or related motifs within the same line. And then you have so many necklaces, so many bracelets, rings, whatever, in your collection.
Okay.
So this is most of my signature collection with a couple extra pieces thrown in. And you can mix with collections. And obviously you want pieces that will mix well with your own collection of jewelry.
Yeah.
Things that have been handed down or new pieces, costume pieces. You want things that are going to mix well because layering is a thing that is really popular right now.
Yeah.
Short necklaces, long necklaces, rings, layering them,
Yeah.
layering bracelets, wearing just the things that are important to you or the things that make you feel good.
Well, what's the rule on silver gold? Because I mix mine.
I do too. I love it both. I mix it. I wear silver, I wear gold, I wear beads, I wear it all because I love jewelry.
It's all acceptable now?
Yeah, totally. You have to be you.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I think people would also be interested, would you still do like a commission piece for someone if they wanted, like if somebody wanted something designed for them?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always open for new ideas, and customers bring me so many really cool ideas about what they want, and I'm always open to it. So just email me if you have an idea, and I hopefully will be able to do it for you.
Well, I think they're like little pieces of art. That's what I think about, and I don't know if you heard at the beginning, or if you've ever seen when I do this, it's, things that enrich your life. And to me, art and beautiful things is really the heart and soul of FineThings, is, things that enrich somebody's life.
I agree. Absolutely, yeah.
It's like something that's unique that you're not going to go out and every single person, can get it. And not that I wouldn't mix, because I would mix your pieces with something that I got anywhere.
Yeah, like a string of beads or something,
Yes.
whatever color you like. But, I mean, like you said about art, it evokes feelings. It brings up these feelings in you. Whatever, you might be looking at a painting or a piece of jewelry or whatever. I mean, that's what art is all about.
Yeah. Love it. You've always been the artist in the group, though. She was like the way she would put together an outfit when we were in high school. She was always the cool, you know.
The way I would wear my big hair. That was an art.
We should have our videographer like put some of those 80s pictures of us.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
That would be so funny. So I also just want to get, you know, your take on, we talked a little bit about Arts Altoona and what's going on here. Would you ever, you know, be interested in having a line back here, or, you know, being part of that revitalization of Altoona?
I would totally be into that. I mean, if there are any galleries out there, please let me know if you're interested in my line, because I'd be happy to be represented in this area. I was a few years back at a gallery called Art 4. I don't know if you remember that, but then they closed.
Yeah.
Which was sad, but I would definitely be up for that. Or upscale boutiques or anything like that. I would love to have my line in there.
Well, when you start hearing about what the revitalization for Altoona looks like, I think there's a place for you. Because there's people that are, you know, clothes designers and just art. There's so many talented people in this area.
There are.
It's insane.
And I'm so excited about that revitalization because in the downtown area,
yes,
the architecture and just everything around there, it has so much potential.
It does.
I'm happy to hear about that.
I know, me too. My kids were really happy because I think, you know, one of the things is we, you know, like our kids look at this area and they think we want to move away, you know, but then for them to hear it might at least be a great place to settle with their families. It's kind of fun.
It is. And you know? I loved growing up here. This was the best place to grow up.
Yeah.
I think.
Absolutely. Oh, I loved it. I mean, I remember thinking I can't wait to leave, but I loved it.
Yeah, you did think that. But, you know, now when you're older and you go away, you miss it.
Yep. You
really do. I miss so much about Pennsylvania and Altoona in general. But
yeah,
I know that sounds crazy, but it's true.
But we're taking a girls' trip to visit her in Nantucket. Maybe we'll do another FineThings live from your studio.
Totally. We should do it. From the beach.
From the beach.
That sounds even
better. That would be really
right?
fun. We actually have guests here watching us, and they won't let us put them on camera, so but they're laughing. They were supposed to be the ones that made us laugh, and they're behaving.
I know, right?
So I do also just want to ask you, is there anything else that you feel like we should know about you and your line and, you know, getting engaged with you? Instagram.
Oh, yes. Please follow me on Instagram. I work really hard on my page. And I do a lot of fun things on there. Because with my graphic design background, I do everything in my business, the graphics.
It's really
the
good.
Website, all the photography, you know how it is to run your business. You have to do everything. You're just wear many hats. But it's fun to look at, and I try to do quality posts, so please follow me. It's at skardesigns.com on Instagram and all my social media.
Can you hand me one of the postcards?
This one?
As a fellow marketer, honest to God, your imagery and the pictures that you use are
thank you. That was actually taken by a professional, that one.
They're so good. I mean, you just want to buy the jewelry when you see it.
Thank you.
No,
Work really hard
good.
at it.
You can tell. So, I guess that's a wrap, unless you have more you want to share.
I think that's a wrap, and we can just maybe get some close-ups of the jewelry so you can see the detail.
We're going to get close-ups, and we're going to be sharing this back out. So, if you're with us live and you have any questions or comments, feel free to share, and we'll be back on FineThings soon.